really interesting article from Common Dreams here about how, let's say, Bernie Sanders administration or Elizabeth Warren administration would be able to cancel all student loan debt without having to go through Congress to make that happen. Excuse me. So let's check it out. This is by Alexis Goldstein. The 2020 Democratic primary elevated the student debt debate to the national stage and sparked discussions at dinner tables and workplaces across the countries. Americans are asking themselves and the candidates, how much student debt should we cancel and how shall we cancel it? Bernie wants to cancel all of it and has introduced legislation to do so. Elizabeth Warren wants to cancel up to $50,000 for households making less than $250K. The debate over how the government should cancel student debt is not without precedent, going back to the Corinthian College, a for-profit college that went bankrupt and just obviously messed up a lot of people that had attended there and still had a lot of loans. They organized the group called the Debt Collective, went on strike against the loans, and then they, got some redress, at least initially from the government, but have been getting pushbacks by especially the Trump administration. So since Betsy DeVos took over the Department of Education, she has utterly frozen even the moderate approach the Obama administration took to canceling the debts of defrauded students. When she was forced by a court to formally execute 16,000 debt cancellations previously approved by the Obama administration, she took the time to write at the bottom of the authorization that she did so, quote, with extreme displeasure. Since then, Betsy DeVos has stopped granting any new debt cancellation for those applications were still outstanding, except when lawsuits have forced her to do so. As of September 2019, 223,569 borrowers are waiting in limbo, their lives on hold as DeVos refuses to cancel their debts, even though Corinthian and ITT Tech were where the majority of applicants went to school have long since collapsed into bankruptcy. So that's Betsy DeVos. That is Trump's education secretary. Just horrible, horrible all around. And again, just part of that wealthy oligarchic elite. If it doesn't benefit the billionaires or the huge corporations, they could care less that these people have been defrauded by these for-profit colleges. So this article then goes into how through executive order the president could cancel the student loan debt. That authority, which is I think part of the Higher Education Act, gives the Education Secretary the ability to compromise, waive, or release any student loans held by the department. So pretty awesome, and obviously in a Sanders or a Warren administration, Sanders would cancel all student loan debt. Elizabeth Warren only cancels $50,000 for people in certain income brackets. The Project on Predatory Student Lending at Harvard Law School detailed this authority in a letter to Senator Warren. The letter argues that Congress has given the Education Secretary a, quote, specific and unrestrained authority to create and cancel or modify federal student loans. Sanders and Warren both have debt cancellation plans, but so far only Warren is committed to using immediate executive action to bring student debt relief. Sanders hasn't weighed in on if or when he would use executive action if he opts to go through Congress. The likely makeup of the 2021 Senate means debt cancellation may never happen through legislation. Meanwhile, possible stumbling blocks to Warren's plan to use executive action could come in the form of congressional attempts to block or obstruct efforts. So if if Sanders or Warren, wanted to have a very, progressive education secretary, the Republicans might try to block that, but they could do it through a acting education secretary if they're able to get the Republicans to vote to confirm one. So for this reason, the rest of the 2020 field would do well to join Warren in a commitment to day one executive action on student debt. It would bring immediate relief to 5.2 million borrowers in default on their student loans. It would help the debtors putting off families or delaying buying a home due to excessive student debt, but it would also boost the economy for everyone. Adding 100 plus billion dollars a year to the GDP, 1.5 million jobs each year, and adding, I think it was 300,000 more people would also be able to get homes, start families, start businesses. So awesome that, the Secretary of Education is able to cancel all student loan debts held by the federal government. They should do that. Cool to see that Elizabeth Warren has that in her executive action plan. It would be better, obviously, if she was in favor of canceling all student loan debt. She's only canceling most of it. Bernie wants to cancel all of it. So I really hope Bernie also gets on board with this and advocates for using executive order to cancel student loan debt. Why would you not? Seems like it'd be a lot easier process than having to go through Congress to do it. Seems like it makes sense, and a lot of people support this. It's a really popular idea, and hope Bernie again adopts the executive order to cancel student loan debt once elected.